Hey.
Well, happy Tuesday, Kurt. I like your
Woo-hoo.
haircut.
Thanks. This is actually still bedhead. It should be a little poofier on the sides, but I kind of like the Joe Strummer 1979 Clash look. It's almost a mohawk.
Is it that or is it well, I guess it would be a little shorter on the top if it was military, and I wouldn't even buy off on that you were in the military anyway.
Nice try, right? I know that this is number three on the side. That's what she told me. That's pretty much all I understood. She's like, number three on the side? I was like, yes, okay.
It's
So that's
Kurt
what I
and
went
Jen.
with.
It's Kurt and Jen in the morning. Thank you for joining us and letting us be part of your day. Kurt,
Yeah.
I'm live from San Antonio again.
The home of the Alamo. Have you gone to the Alamo yet?
I'm going after this. I'm going today.
That's what I thought.
So
Yeah.
firefighter boyfriend Pat is huge into history. So he's like, I will absolutely go to San Antonio with you, but we have to go to the Alamo.
Will you please, while you're there, will you please ask if you can see the basement?
Is there a basement?
You just please, just for me, for your old bud.
Is it going to embarrass me if I ask that?
No, a lot of people will laugh and applaud, I think. So,
Can I see the basement? Okay,
and
I'll
some people
ask.
listening to this podcast right now are getting that. I shouldn't go into further detail, I don't think, but just ask about if you can see the basement.
I've been to the Alamo before. I don't believe I saw a basement.
Well, you weren't looking very carefully then, I guess.
Okay. All right. If I, you know what, I'm coming back tomorrow and we will be in person together, and I'm gonna slug you real good if you're just saying something that I shouldn't be saying at the Alamo and being disrespectful. I don't want to be
You're not being
disrespectful.
disrespectful. See, what everybody doesn't know about you is that you need to know. The Jen is impossible to say, hey, I've got something to tell you. I'll tell you a little bit later. Well, what is it? Like, I'll tell you a little later. No, now.
That's not fair. That's like telling kids, I'll tell you when you get older.
No, it's not get older. It's another day. It's not like when you get
Okay,
older.
well, I will ask if I can see the basement. I might ask my friends about it beforehand.
That's no, you're gonna, well,
No, I'm
okay.
gonna ruin
You
it.
do
All
what
right.
you want to do. You know what, Jen?
Okay, I'll do it, Kurt. I'll do it.
Do you. You be Super Jen, even though you're in Texas.
So, yes, I'm
Uh,
still in San Antonio visiting one of my best friends, and I've got another very close friend with us. We just celebrated her birthday. And do you see that art in the background? It's one of Carrie, my friend's favorite pictures, and
Move
mine
your head for a
too.
second. There you go. It's a bull and the girl staring down the bull. Is that picture from Wall Street?
Yes, it's the statue. It's a
Yeah.
picture from the statue on Wall Street, and I think it's
Hmm.
beautifully done. And it says so much about, I think, so many things, but just the strength of women. And don't forget, it's all meant to be, don't forget about women in leadership because
Right.
we're powerful people. So,
What is
girl
the
power.
item between the girl and the bull?
It's just
Is that
art.
just
I
like
think it's just like it's just artistic, rendering of it. It's just like
artistic
paint
freedom? Yes. Like
dripping.
I'm going to put a
Yeah.
line here. Okay.
It's
No,
black
that's
paint
very
dripping.
nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Very nice. Oh,
Okay.
I should ask what you're bringing me back from Texas, by the way.
Oh, I already told you yesterday. Case these cascarones. You're getting
Can I get something different?
maybe. Do you want me to bring you back a Davy Crockett hat from the Alamo?
No, please, dude. Made me choke on my own spit.
See,
Please do not.
now you're being very picky about what I bring you back. I will try to
It's
find
fine.
something.
Well, what you missed here in the greater Seattle area was a gorgeous day yesterday. And this is where you say,
Really?
did you go out in the boat? No, did stuff around the house all day, which was awesome. The lawn is mowed, the trees are treed,
And
and
your
lots of
hair's
inside
cut.
stuff as well. Yeah, and the haircut. The hair is cut. All three of those things. You see, when you're enjoying some downtime from your full-time job, you get to go and spend a lot of time doing nothing, which I enjoy very much.
Some
So,
downtime from your full-time job that you no longer have anymore.
right. I was trying
Okay.
to, without coming out and saying, again, like you like to say, well, we got fired. So,
We got laid off. Our station that we were on in Seattle, KPLZ, changed to country just to
mhm.
let you in on that little backstory. And now
And
we're
we also,
podcasting.
I need to point out that we are not bitter or angry, and that's no joke. It's just
Yeah,
something that happens
it
in
does.
radio.
How it
Uh,
goes.
even though it was a terrible mistake. But
So now
besides
we're
that,
podcasting. Now we're podcasting, and here we are, and we're glad that we're part of your routine. And thank you so much. And the only thing that we can ask of you besides keep listening each day, we'll post something. Our goal is to post something every weekday, is to like us, subscribe. And when I say subscribe, it doesn't cost you any money. It's free, but it's just a way to kind of get some traction going, and share if you have friends or family that you think would enjoy this. So there you go. Let's go into a question that you have a question for me. You said at the very beginning, before we even started this, you had a question for me about something about living in a van or something.
well, that's the question exactly. That there's some people doing the van life thing right now, and I found some statistics. Would you, Jen Pirek, Super Jen, who likes glamping, by the way, would you enjoy van life? Could you, going back to the old Matt Foley bit from Saturday Night Live, could you live in a van down by the river?
I mean, if it was a big van with a swimming pool, I mean, I guess the swimming pool's the river, and I have a full kitchen. Yeah.
Probably not going to be in your van.
Then no.
All right.
Nope. I'm not doing it. Like, I could do so. Pat, my boyfriend, lives in his motorhome right now because he's remodeling a house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty comfortable. I mean, it's good size, and I could do
Right.
that. But van, I think that you mean like those Sprinter vans that they decorate,
Yeah.
like make fancy.
I think that's what they're saying.
No. Well, number one, I don't ever want to live like, not that I don't want to live by myself. I shouldn't say that. I can totally live by myself, but I want to be with Pat. And if we're in a van, it's way too squishy of quarters. I'm gonna go with no. What about you and Dana?
Dana would probably not. I think I'd be okay with it. But a lot of it is just lifestyle stuff. It's like I'm thinking, where would I put all this stuff? It's not
Your
going to fit in the
guitars.
van down by
No.
the river.
It's all about a simple life.
It turns out that a third of Americans said, yeah.
Really?
A third of Americans said that they were willing to do it, and about 15% said, I really want to do that. That's their goal, is to live in a van down by the river.
Okay. I'm a no. I'm a hard no, actually. I'm not even gonna pretend like maybe I could figure it out. Nope.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say the age of these people that were asked. So
Here's
I mean,
the
if it was,
thing, if I
younger
had to,
people.
yeah, if I had to and it was my only option, I totally would. But I did not. If you're just asking me, do you want to? The answer is no.
I think it'd be fun for a short period of time, and then yeah, I think it would get old. Like you said, you're okay with cohabitating with Pat in the RV, but there's an end to that. The house will be done, and then there'll be a house. Right. But if it was forever in the RV, you'd be like, no way.
And the question is, would there be room for a cheese grater in that van? Because
that was actually a good little segue there, I guess.
That was so bad, Curt. Are you kidding me?
I haven't heard anything about this, by the way, before.
I have not. This question has never even been a thing in my head ever until right now. Do you really have to wash shredded cheese before you eat it? Meaning the shredded cheese that you get in a package from the store.
Really?
Like, do you really have to? Like, no. Was that even a thing?
That's what I was going to say. I didn't know that was even. I mean, you could wash anything, obviously, but I would think that if you wash cheese, it would get mushy and bleh.
Well, here's the thing I'm just going to explain this very quickly. So, this is why I don't love packaged cheese. You know, when you open the packaged cheese and it's kind of like has that powder dust on it, it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know the cheese dust. Yes.
The cheese dust, right. Well, that's typically like a cornstarch or potato starch or powdered cellulose.
I think that's it. Cellulose.
Which is refined wood pulp. That's in some of the products, and certain brands use certain things. So the big question is, do you really have to wash it so that you're not ingesting that stuff? And the way you wash it is you put it in a colander, rinse it quickly, and then dry it on a paper towel and then eat it. You can't then store it. Like whatever you wash, you need to eat or toss. So anyway, the whole thing.
That was like I said.
I know. The whole
we
thing
have
is
we use the, and I don't think this would work for the cheese, but we use the spray. There's like a spray, like fruits and vegetables. You spray the fruit and vegetable spray on the fruits and vegetables, and it's supposed to, sanitize them, whatever. Yeah.
They have you to use that for your cheese?
We don't use anything for cheese because we're not washing cheese. Remember?
Okay. The answer is no. You don't have to wash the cheese. It's okay to ingest that little amount. But here's the thing. shredding your own cheese, like if you get a block of the Tillamook cheese,
Mm-hmm.
we're from the
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Northwest. Tillamook is from Oregon.
Yep,
Just
that's
get
the way to
that and
go.
shred it yourself. There's nothing better than freshly shredded cheese. I mean, seriously, it's so delicious.
We
Except
need
for
to have that dream music now for you. That
when you eat it, you look like a savage beast eating cheese. Like, because I'm like, let me get a handful and put it in my mouth.
well, cheese actually enters into what we discussed yesterday. What dish do you cook super well? You know, maybe
Oh,
your signature dish or something that you're known for. And we teased the fact that I was going to share that I have a signature dish that is
yes.
pretty fantastic.
Which I cannot wait to hear about because you
What do
do
you think
not
it might
cook.
be?
Um, I mean, it's got to be something simple. This has to be a joke. I don't
It
believe you
is
have a
not
dish.
simple at all. It is the legendary grilled cheese sandwich,
You
which you can do right or you can do wrong.
that's absolute truth. And I would like to have a grilled cheese cook off with you because I believe
Okay.
I make one of the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
Well, and I believe I make one of the best grilled cheese sandwiches. We're going to have a cook-off because you're going to say, well, what cheese do you use? And I'm going to refuse to even admit that or say it because that is the secret recipe. The combination of cheeses, as you know.
Yeah,
The
it
bread is
is.
important as well.
The
I'll go
bread
with
is
that
important. Buttering
sourdough. Yeah,
every side, like every bit of that butter needs to be on the edges of the bread.
right. And that
Yeah.
that helps, obviously, yes. And then the sourdough we discussed before, or some kind of French bread that is just fantastic. But when it comes down to how to make it perfect, it's the cheeses. And maybe at some point I'll reveal, but I
Okay.
don't
So
know.
you make a mean grilled cheese sandwich. That's your dish. If I'm
What about
coming
you,
over to
Jen Pirek?
what? What
What's
about
your
me?
mean dish?
I would have to say mine is
Don't pretend to
lasagna.
think you know exactly what it is. Lasagna.
I like to bake though, so I was try there's baking too because I make a lot of different baked goods, and I
Uh-huh.
think I make a mean cupcake, um,
Well,
and German
that is
chocolate
true.
cake, which we
That is
talked about.
true.
Yes,
That is true.
but it's gonna be lasagna if it's like a main dish, lasagna, and
Right.
I make 2 different kinds when I make lasagna because I like to, make sure people have options. The traditional red meat sauce type lasagna, and then a chicken broccoli lasagna. That's a white sauce. That's in a white sauce.
We had some people yesterday that chimed in on
Yeah,
Facebook that said that they okay, my like Jennifer Shook said it was her chocolate chip cookies. We had Brittany who sent a picture of this delicious goulash.
that
Actually, if you go
goulash looks
to
good, and I'm
uh,
gonna reply to her and ask her if she's willing to share the recipe.
and
Uh,
this is all at the Kurt and Jen in the morning on Facebook. Gary Peterson's smoked salmon dip.
Yum. Yes,
Mm.
please, and yummy.
What
Janet
is
Bradshaw said chocolate chip
yeah?
cookies and mac and cheese. Um, Mariana, she said buffalo chicken dip, and she said I already have the recipe, and she's right because she's one of my friends that replied, and it is really, really
What is
good.
this chighetti that Randy All sent in? He makes chighetti.
Oh, that is a chili spaghetti. So he makes this delicious chili and adds spaghetti noodles to it. And you think, oh, I'm not so sure about that, but it is mwah, so delicious.
You know what that the point that brings up is there are I'm surprised. Well, I guess that does kind of count the chighetti, but there are people that and there are chili cook-offs. You know that their chili is a big thing that people will claim. Oh, I've got the best chili ever, and I grew up, the first 10, 11 years of my life in Cincinnati. So what I consider to be chili is Cincinnati style chili, which is kind of like what you get on a coney dog, if you're familiar with that.
No,
Um,
I'm not
we have,
familiar.
okay, we're gonna have to go and get you some Skyline chili, although it'll be frozen and heated up in the microwave, so it won't be as
Is
good.
it
But
just
it's
like
it's
that thick and like meaty and beany chili?
it's almost like a tomato a meat sauce kind
Okay.
of.
All
Oh,
right.
and you eat it over spaghetti with maybe some grated cheese on top and
Oh,
onions. It's
okay.
phenomenal.
I'm willing to
Yes.
try it. I just want to give a shout
Mm.
out to Steve. He said that I believe Steve is listening in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken. I think his is
Right.
chicken enchiladas, and then Cheryl. I'm clicking on this right now because she just Chicago style deep dish pizza. She sent a
Oh, that
recipe.
is the best.
King Arthur's version of the deep dish. So thank you for
That is
that.
the best,
It's
best.
not too late to weigh in on that because Kurt and I will look at that, and if you provide the recipe with the dish that you do well, I will try to
Mm.
make it.
Everybody knows what you're saying. We're unemployed now. We need some new things to do, some new foods to cook. Yeah,
Okay,
but
I
yeah.
I am in San Antonio right now, and this also has to do with cheese because Carrie and Christopher have a dog named Olive. She is the cutest dang thing ever. And
Mhm.
she whenever she hears their cheese drawer open in the refrigerator, she comes running. Like she knows that sound. She runs over, she sits and looks up, and she kind of makes a little sound, and they give her some cheese. I'm like, well, that's why she does it, because you give her cheese every time. And
Is
that
this
makes
the
the
sound? Is it like
yeah,
cheese?
give me some cheese right now.
That's and that's one of the things that I think that I'd be only because I don't know for sure, but I'm wondering if it must not be because they do it. But I'm concerned that some people are saying you shouldn't give your dogs cheese because of this, that, and the other.
Not giving the dog like big chunks of cheese. They're just like a little nibble. And that begged the question for me, what do you do to spoil your dog or your
Oh,
pet in
great.
general? Because they also give Olive filtered water in her water bowl.
We do that here too.
What? Am I doing something wrong as a pet owner for Snotty Sailor? Should I be giving her filtered water?
We take the water. Well, we take it out of the fridge, right? The little dispenser on the front of the fridge, and it happens to be filtered. So I guess we do give them filtered water.
The only way I think that I spoil Snotty Sailor, her name's just Sailor, but she's snotty,
No, you always say snotty sailor.
is that I will get her those they're ridiculously expensive for being, I think they're called junkyard bones, those big bones that have the,
Hmm.
like, stuff still on them and they kinda cook up, like, grill, I don't even know what they do to them, and then there's the marrow inside.
Oh, the marrow is the best part. You just ask Bella, and she'll say, "Yeah, that's it. The marrow. I want
That's
the
the only
marrow."
way I spoil her, but then when she empties it, I will fill it with a tiny bit of peanut butter and put it in the freezer, and then I'll give her that bone, like, if I'm gonna be gone for a big part of the day.
I'm trying to think of how spoiled. Well, I mean, does it count that we try to never ever leave them alone for more than an hour? That's a lot.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kurt,
if we, yeah, I know
you're like gold
that's
star pet
overkill.
owner ever.
Yeah, and
Gold star.
they get to, like you said, they get the big bones like that with the marrow inside. And what about sleeping in the bed? I know Sailor does not sleep in the bed.
Well, she does sometimes. Sometimes she does. Because I'll fall asleep. She's not supposed to and she knows it, but she will get in the bed when I'm sleeping and Pat's not there.
That is awesome. Yeah, Bella sleeps well. We had Dexy up until about a month ago, and both that big German Shepherd and Bella the Beagle sleep in the bed. Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was.
gosh. Wow.
And then as the humans in the bed, you take whatever space you can get. You know, you start the night starts out fine. Everybody's in their spot. Everybody's laying perpendicularly to everybody, and then something goes horribly wrong at some point. And I've got like a dog foot in my ear, and it's yeah. But that's yeah. We like the dogs in the bed, and I
How
know
do
that
you
some people
spoil
say
your
that's
pet? That is the
yes.
question. What do you do? And you can always communicate with me and Kurt. We love feedback and love connecting with you. So you can do it through our social media. We have Facebook, Kurt and Jen all of it's Kurt and Jen in the morning. We have Facebook, we have
Hmm.
Instagram, we have TikTok, and of course you can email us. And we're trying to change the email address, but for right now, it's Kurt and Jen in the morning at
At
gmail.com.
Gmail. Kind of long, but the first time you put it in, it'll autofill the times after that.
I
So
had this
yeah.
idea, Kurt. I should probably actually add that to our description in our podcast so people can connect with us. So I will do that. But
Okay.
if you ever want to just send us a quick little message, we would really love to hear from you. Kurt,
Or if you want to make a little extra cash,
we
and
need this. We need this.
you can get paid $1,000 to watch and rate
Here,
all 9 Star Wars movies.
here's the thing. I can do that. I can
I
earn that money,
cannot.
but you cannot because
Can't.
you've seen some of them and I have not seen any of the Star Wars movies in full length. I've seen a little tiny bits and pieces of
Yeah.
Star Wars, but that's it.
I saw the first 3, the original 3, when people are like, "Well, do you mean the first 3 of the sequel, 4, 5, and 6?" The first 3 as they were released in theaters, and then I saw, I think the 4th one, they had that Jar Jar Binks in it, and then I was done. I was like, I don't want to watch any more of these, which is probably, I know, my loss. But you have to be a newbie. They're saying you have to be a Wookiee rookie.
A Wookiee. A Wookiee is one of the characters, right? A Wookiee.
Chewbacca is a Wookiee. You know Chewbacca.
I know Chewbacca. He's one of my favorites.
He is a Wookiee. That's I don't know. That's what animal he is.
Okay.
Person animal. He's called a Wookiee. But $1,000 Finance Buzz will give you to watch all 9 Star Wars movies in the Skywalker saga. They want to find out the chosen person will give an outsider's perspective and will rate and evaluate the movies in the order they were released, starting with episode 4. Like I was saying, episode 4 to me is episode 1.
Watch them. You watch them in order. Here's the thing. Okay, so you have to be 18 to apply. It's who's doing this? Is it Finance Buzz?
Finance Buzz, yeah.
Finance Buzz. You have to apply. The deadline, I love this, is May 4th, as in May the 4th or
Correct.
4th be with you.
And set aside, I believe it's 25 hours total is what it's going to take to watch all these. Actually, you know what it says here? 25 hours and 7 minutes. So they're also throwing in, Finance Buzz is throwing in $100 for snacks and streaming fees, plus your $1,000 fee or salary, if you will.
I am not in. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I should, because I need the money right now. But I do not want to spend that much time watching movies that I am 100% not interested in, because otherwise I would have watched them by now.
Well, you might be interested in them if you watch them.
Okay. Well, maybe you know what? Maybe I should apply. You never know if you'll win or not. So maybe
give it some consideration.
Other
Finally,
ways, other ways
we're
that you
talking
can
about making money, making money.
Ways to make money, and we call this non-traditional revenue.
NTR. Selling things in your house that you can sell for parts. Of course, you're thinking, okay, I got to get rid of this or that. I can put it up on either Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that. We're getting rid of a toaster or whatnot. But there are things in your house that you can actually sell just for parts, and you can make some pretty serious dollars on some of this stuff.
I actually had no idea on some of this. The obvious thing is, like, if you have a junker car, you could part it out. I think that one's pretty obvious. But some of the ones that are not so much, like computers, like if you rip your old laptop apart, people on eBay are looking for some parts to rebuild theirs.
Board games. I didn't think about that though. Board games. eBay has a whole section dedicated to buying, selling old game pieces and parts. So maybe you have a Monopoly, an original Monopoly game that's missing the little dog character, right?
I want to speak to this because our family is a game family. I love games so much. So there are pieces that are missing. So I'm going to use this. I had no idea that eBay had a whole section dedicated to this.
Well, I just have a feeling that maybe that might not be a big moneymaker. Maybe if you have the right version of the game, like, oh, you've got the 1972 deluxe version, that's worth a lot of money for that little wheelbarrow or dog. But anyway, you can look into it if it's a moneymaker. One of the items on the list here that you can sell for parts
is perfect for you. That's perfect for you, Curt.
Nope.
You're not selling your electric guitars in whole.
I actually have a hard time. Maybe this is strange, but I have a hard time parting with my instruments. I've got guitars, I've got basses back there as well, keyboards, a couple of drum kits, and for some reason there's an emotional attachment for me to the instruments that I would rather give it to someone who is starting to learn or is very passionate than sell it thinking that they're just going to try to resell it and make even more money on it. That's not, I guess maybe I'm just a sap that way, but that's me.
Here's the thing. We're not making money this way. This is not a non-traditional revenue for us. It's just not going to work. The last one that it was mentioned is Lego pieces, especially if they're for a set, like a specific set. If you have certain pieces for that. So, you know what? This isn't going to work for me. I'm not doing this.
Okay.
And you're clearly not doing it. I'm out.
No. Okay. Well, it's not going to replace probably a full-time job, but
no.
that could be your side hustle there, Jen. Lego pieces.
I'm not doing it. That seems like so much work with very little return. So I'm just not.
All right.
I'm going to tell you something. Hold on.
Yeah.
I am I'm trying to embrace it. I'm trying to be better about this. This is for tomorrow, by the way.
Okay. My
friends with me on this trip gave me a nickname only because of something that I'm not, which is like, dang it, I wanted to be this other thing. And they're like, but you're not that, you're this. I'm like,
well, here's the deal. You don't get to pick your own nickname ever. And the one that you hate the most is the one that's going to stick.
I know, but it kind of sounds like a stripper name.
Well, again, maybe it applies. No, no.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you
All
about
right.
it during tomorrow's podcast
And
because it is a
also,
thing. It's a thing.
how do you feel about getting older? You know,
We
it's
had this discussion at the dinner table yesterday, and I am excited to talk about this. Think about that. I'm gonna post this on our social media, Curt and Jen in the morning on Facebook. Um,
right. And
and
we
I'd like
found
your
ourselves
feedback
at a certain age looking for jobs, which a lot of people are facing. I understand that. And ageism is certainly a thing, but I'm actually pretty excited about, I should save it, but I'm kind of excited about getting older. It beats the alternative.
for
Let's just put it
sure.
that way.
For sure. But we want your feedback on that. How do you feel about getting older?
Yeah, it's Curt and Jen in the morning. And again,
On Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
wherever
on
you want to go
Facebook.
for
You got
that.
to go
All
on
right.
Facebook for that one.
Yep, yep,
You
yep.
know what? Thank you. We appreciate you letting us, I said this at the beginning, being part of your world. So make good choices, find joy, spread kindness. Thank you for listening.
Yep. We'll talk to you tomorrow.